Yo, what's up, Eddie, bro? So tell me about you. Tell me about your set.
Okay, so today I did a set, just trying new material, and a lot of times it's just that's what it is, just trying new material until I got a show. So I bomb about I'll say 75-60% of the time.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's just figuring it out.
So tell me a little bit of like what you do. Like, who are you? Like,
Okay.
For those that don't know who Eddie is, like who's Eddie? You know?
Okay, so I go by Eddie Diaz, Eddie F'n Diaz. I'm a local comedian out of Long Beach, and I'm a comedian, man. I try to make funnies. I try to do music videos. I write a lot of jokes, a lot of material, make videos. And
Bro, I saw you. Were you in Dizzy Wright's video?
Yes.
You were the bear in Dizzy Wright's video. That shit was lit. And I saw that on your Instagram page. I'm like, hey, Dizzy held it out for a minute, bro. On Hypebeast, homie was tight. Homie's really tight. Yeah. How did you meet that guy?
So I was originally friends with the other rapper that was featured in that video. It's just Dizzy Wright and Colin Rich.
Yeah.
And again, just being a comedian, hey, I'm ready to do stuff. I'm ready to make funnies. And he's like, hey, I had this idea. And I'm the guy who's like, I'm doing it. I'll do it. Let's go. Put me in a bear costume.
Ooh.
We went over there, and I met Dizzy Wright. They smoked us out.
Yo, we gotta hear about the smoke, though. We gotta hear.
Bro.
Y'all were outside smoking, huh?
We were smoking so fat, but the thing too is we're working.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of that smoke is for show, and I get that. So after that experience, because people wanted to smoke with them, but that whole time we're shooting a video, it's work.
Yeah.
And after that music video, we had to go shoot more, so it wasn't even like we got to kick it. And it was cool working with him because I was the bear, and for a minute I had this guy just laughing, and that's crazy to me. That made me feel bomb.
Yeah, I think I saw some of those clips of you like in a bear suit. You know, like you were dancing. Yeah, I saw a little bit of those clips. How hot was it in that batch? Like that bear was. I'm sure it was hot. It was California. Like, how long did you take to be able to say, yo, I'm over this? You know.
Bro, when I'm on set, it's let's go until it's over. You know what I mean? I can't lie though. I had some girls braid my hair because at a certain point I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. But
yo, Eddie with the cornrows, I'm sick. Yo, Eddie rocking the cornrows. Yo, one Dizzy Wright video, now he's hood. Yeah, I'm with it, bro. I'm with it. I love it. Yeah.
I'll try to put for my rep. You know.
There you go, bro. There you go.
I figured it out.
Yo, that's exciting, bro. That's exciting. So, the first time I interacted with your content, I pride myself on like my presence on Long Beach's cannabis and social media. You know, we were out there moving grinders, and homie asked us what we did, and when we showed him the Outsmoken thing, he's like, "Yo, 2 or 3 of my friends already follow you." You know, and so I really love going out there and finding other cannabis creators, because one of my favorite things about the cannabis space is the fact that it attracts so many like hardworking people who have a bunch of different like side hobbies, side hustles, everything, you know. It's always cannabis plus something else. Cannabis plus comedy, cannabis plus entrepreneurship, cannabis plus art, you know, cannabis plus music. They all seem to go together so well. And yo, I watch like a lot of my favorite shows, and my favorite comedians will talk about smoking weed. You know, Chris Rock has joints about smoking weed, you know. And when I discovered you, cannabis and comedy, I thought it was super fascinating to me. I'm like, oh, yo, this is almost like a match made in heaven. When I smoke, I want to laugh. This guy is the master of the craft of laugh. Tell me a little bit about what brought you into the cannabis space.
So cannabis is first foremost a passion of mine. I do try to advocate for it through being a productive stoner. But for me, I hit a point. Well, let me preface, I've always loved cannabis. Even when I was younger, there's something about it.
Everybody loves cannabis. This is the shit, bro. Yeah.
I knew I was going to smoke that shit before I even knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But it's just, for me, it got me out of a really bad depression.
Mm-hmm.
I was just always home, always just not doing nothing, and so I started smoking pot, and it just kind of helped you alleviate certain stress and certain ailments, you know, mental, like, oh, you know, I'm not, you know, whatever, because you don't care no more.
Yeah.
Like, you faded, you're having a good time, let's go. And so from that, I also met people, and that's the thing you were saying. Cannabis brings a lot of people because so many people are passionate about it, and when you're really passionate about it, it's easy to be friends.
Yeah.
So do you feel like cannabis helps with like your jokes, or like do you go on stage like while you're high?
So I do smoke at open mics.
You took that question right out of my mouth. I was excited to ask him that too. Like, yo, I wonder if he puffs like right before he gets on stage.
There's been times I take a blunt on stage, and a lot of times I do smoke, when I have a show, though, I try to stay sober. I get a cup of coffee, and I treat it like work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to, feel off the audience. Because for me, if you can do stand-up high, then you could do it sober. Because it's a lot harder.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Yeah.
And that's the thing, too, is like, a lot of people know, like, I'm a stoner or whatever, but my comedy isn't necessarily, like, stoner-ish. It's like, it's just my life, and cannabis is a part of it.
I hear that, bro. I hear that. Yeah, it's not stoner comedy. It's just comedy from a stoner.
That's point blank. Yeah.
That's dope as fuck. I want to talk about the fact that you said sometimes you'll bring a blunt on stage, One of my favorite comedians is Dave Chappelle, and I really love when Dave Chappelle is the fucking man, unquestionably. And sometimes, a lot of these clubs have like a no smoking inside kind of rule. Dave Chappelle will light up a cigarette on stage, he'll pull his little jewel out, and it's almost like part of the effect, like something about comedy being like contrary to like expectation and just like you violating what people, no one knows what's going to come out of your mouth, no one knows what you're going to do next, and somebody else just sparking up right on stage violates that expectation for me too. Once again, it's almost like physical comedy, like who expects you to be on stage puffing a blunt, it's a really unique perspective, so I can see that for you, I think that's really dope how you incorporate the two.
Thank you. And two, the thing about stand-up comedy is, there's cancel culture, what have you, but for the most part, it's the last place you have absolute freedom to say whatever you want.
Yeah, man, yeah.
You don't have that anywhere.
Oh, man, talk to him.
So give me some of your skits right now. Like, what are you working on right now? Like, I see you hop on on Wednesdays and do like some stand up. Like what is your I guess you could say your skit about? Like what do you usually talk about when you go on your comedy?
So a lot of times it is my life. Right now the jokes that I'm working on is about like Mexican music. My grandfather recently passed away, so as soon as he died I already had jokes ready to go. And that's the thing about being stand-up. Yeah, dude.
That's dope. Yeah.
I'm tore up on mentally. Like, when you become a comic, everything is a joke. And, my whole life is a joke, really. Anything that happens, I'm like, all right,
that's material. That's material, yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, I live that. I'm made for this.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can just channel something even as negative as that, and turn it into something positive. That's crazy.
I have a bit where, I talk about how my grandfather, he passed away, but before he did, they chopped off his legs, which sucks, because it's like, he didn't even have a chance to break in his new nubbies, you know what I mean? Like, this fool got brand new kneecaps, Air Force kneecaps, and didn't even get to use them.
Yo,
Air Force nubs.
Yeah,
Air Force nubs.
I like that. Yo, yeah. That's funny.
That's vicious, bro. That's vicious, yeah. Wait, is that real? Did they really chop off his leg before he died?
Yep, 100%.
Fuck.
Yeah, you weren't lying when you said I was already working on stuff. But so tell me, you mentioned a little bit about like you had depression and how did that work with like your comedy? Because I feel like comedians are funny. I don't really know what goes through their mind. I'm sure you can have depression, but how does that work with what you do?
So originally, I started with improv. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Yeah.
So that's where
improv is fucking tough, bro. I did a little bit of theater, and improv is like the final frontier. It's like creating theater on the spot in front of everybody, and it's difficult, and you have to be prepared to fail over and over and over again. And improv is like the final frontier. That's some tough shit right there.
And the thing too is you got to be so creative and just go forth with things, and it helps you to forget things. When I was depressed, it was like I lost I know it's gonna sound cheesy, but like I broke up with my girl, I lost my best friend, I dropped out of college. It was just a moment where you're like, man, this is the absolute lowest.
Yeah.
Let me get out of here. Let me just get out.
Yeah.
And first improv was the way to do it because it was like, oh, you have a place to go every week. You're making friends, and then from there I started developing my humor a little bit because I don't think I was really ever funny, and now I'm trying to be. I'm working at it. So it's like.
And the weed helps.
And the weed helps because you're like, you know what? Forget it. I don't care. This is who I am.
That's real. How both the cannabis and the comedy has helped you discover something within yourself. Like the personal development is a major thing. And Meyer and I talk about a lot how cannabis helps us through tough times. We just had an episode talking about, we need to study cannabis more, but cannabis does relieve a lot of people from anxiety, and psychedelics are starting to push people in this direction too. but something as simple as comedy and being able to say what's on your mind freely, unabashedly, you know, despite cancel culture and despite, you know, the status of the world right now, you know, I think there's a crazy kind of therapy in that, kind of healing, you know, that's really brilliant. You know, I never thought of comedy as healing, you know, but you brought a really interesting angle there, you know?
It is healing because, so for instance, today at the mic that I was at, the woman before me was talking about, you know, she had cancer. She just realized she had cancer, whatever. And I went on stage. And in the way that the whole room was set up, the way the environment was, I just went up there and I was like, hey, you know, I just want to let you know, I like to donate my time by pleasing women with cancer. And it was just, it was a joke, but like, it was funny for her and we both laughed and it's just like healing, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, let's laugh at this.
I'm sorry. Yo, so I went we all need our own mic. I went to a comedy club. I went to a comedy club in Hollywood, and I don't know if it was like AIDS night or something, but there was like 5 or 6 gay comedians in a row, and they all had really heavy hitting jokes about HIV, and I felt so uncomfortable being like a straight guy and not. I don't even talk about HIV, let alone joke about it. And these motherfuckers actually have it on stage and they're capping on each other about it. It's like, oh, yo, this motherfucker's dying next week. You know, like, yo, I'm not hitting that shit, raw dog. And I'm like, yo, are you even allowed to say this? But to think about that could be how they cope with their own fucking issues, you know? That's I never had a perspective like this. You know?
If you talk to a comedian, they make a joke about everything because comedians are just messed up in the brain. There's just something about it.
Yo, it's just some savage shit where if you're allowed to, I mean, I guess you are allowed to, you're just saying whatever comes to your mind. And for you to go out there and say, yo, that about cancer, like, in women, yo, that's wild.
Wild.
And the thing, too, is, like, it is a place where it's understood these are jokes.
Yes.
And that's really hard for a lot of people. Like, there was this one guy who, like, did racial jokes and stuff. But it's like, I get it, but it's jokes, you know? It's just how we kind of interact with each other, roasting each other.
So that's a really great point. I really want to ask you about this. I feel like stand-up, it's a very much like theater. It is a art form that we're increasingly moving away from. You know, people don't go to live performances unless it's like fucking music shows, you know, Lil Uzi Vert concert or something. More and more, especially with our generation, people are at home, they're streaming, they're on social media, and if they do go out, they're prone to pull up their phone and share your set with their friends, you know? And I think that almost takes away from comedy a little bit, where it's something that's meant to be enjoyed live, where it is what happens in this room stays in this room in a sense, you know? I'm not saying this to be taken out of context. You have to understand that this is being said in a safe space, you know? And how do you feel about a comedian that has to exist in this new social media landscape where people might share you can't say the same joke twice, or people can take your words out of context and be more sensitive online about it. Like, how do you feel about that?
So it's tough. It's double-edged sword because you need social media. You need to get your jokes out there. Someone needs to hear it and laugh and be like, oh, I want to follow this guy or whatnot. At the same time, I feel that if you paying for a show, these comedians are putting their very best on the table. That you should not record because that's for you. That's your eyes only. That's the thing about stand-up. To really enjoy it, you got to be there in person. You got to be up front because there's a certain energy that's just lost in the whole recording process. And the laughs, it's all there.
Because I feel like it's a live moment type of thing. Because I know, and I hear about the one in downtown Long Beach, where they actually pick on you. They like roast like the front of the audience, and if you're sitting in the front, you're about to get roasted on. You feel me? I feel like they make you part of whatever it is that you're bringing to the table that night. So I don't necessarily. I feel like I don't like the fact that they record you, or that they might judge you by something that you might say. Because if you're coming to watch them, you are in a safe space. You feel me?
And two people love being roasted, man. I'm so surprised at that.
I don't know. When I went to that comedy club, they roasted me on my laugh or how I reacted to jokes, and I got embarrassed as fuck. You know, I'm like, oh shit. But I also you have to come equipped for that. You know what I mean? And so I can get why people they come to a comedy show and they forget that the audience is as much a part of the show as the performer. You know, and yeah, you really gotta let your guard down. But yo, let's transition a little bit more into cannabis because yo, I got a bunch. We could talk comedy all day, bro. Tell me about tell me like your craziest high story where you just could not stop laughing because of something cannabis had you getting into, you know?
Man, cannabis, like, I always have a good time smoking it. But edibles, you know, I had an edible one time, Corova Bar.
Uh-huh.
You guys had that.
Yeah.
It's back in the day, maybe like 4 years ago.
Open your fucking third eye with that bitch, bro. That shit is heavy.
And the thing is, my friend was like, hey, take another bite. Take another bite. It was a 300 milligram. And I had to host my radio show that night, and I was blitzed. I couldn't, I was questioning my life. I was like, get me out of here. It was the worst.
You said you did 300 milligrams?
300
Bro,
milligrams.
I'm gonna need you to get at my level because I did 1,000.
Hey, well, you were chilling, you were fucking...
Nah, knock it off. Don't you
I did
dare.
1,000, so I'm gonna need you to get at my level.
Bro, okay, that's cap. He did do 1,000, but homie was sick for 2 days straight. 2 days straight, calling off work and shit. Hey, yo, I'm still high. Hey, Mayer, you wanna come smoke? You wanna come do the smoke?
Now.
No, fuck it, I still feel the edible. Yo, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Okay, that's a lie, bro. Like, my guy is
2 days straight.
But
2 days straight.
I did sleep for like 17 hours, bro. No lie. Like, my best friend stopped talking to me after that day, bro, because I ignored her, bro. I was just like on the TV. I was done. But I'm gonna need you to get at my level.
I'm too scared, man, because, like, I just get it in my head. That's man.
I'm not mad at it. And
I can
edibles
smoke all day, but an edible, oh, I get scared. Like, I went to a cannabis event where we were networking, and I took an edible, and when it hit me, I just turned around and I ran away. I just left.
Fuck.
But that's edibles for me, you know?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yo, edibles are usually the most intense, and I don't even really fuck with edibles like that. Like, on occasion, but yeah, I'd much rather chief, you know? I'd rather be out smoking. You feel me?
So how do you consume your stuff?
Favorite is blunts. Just roll a fat blunt, joints. Vape is convenient. But
Okay,
it's
well,
not,
let's talk about blunts, because I'm a man who can enjoy a good blunt on occasion. You like backwoods? You smoke white owls? Are you a swisher kind of guy? A lot of people are into the Dutches.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Swishers is where I'm at. I'm trying these hemp ones.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do backwoods, but you know you got to put like 12 grams in each one, and I just don't got. We
12
like
grams.
that,
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you.
So every time I was like, "Hey, you want to do backwood?" I'm like, I got like 1 gram. Here you go, dog. I got to pay for these open mics.
yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
It's like that's my way.
Okay. All right, yo, yeah. I like me a blunt, bro. I like me a blunt.
Smoking in the car, just clouding it.
So you say you're doing, or you like to do swishers, but you brought some vegan ones today. What made you go vegan or the hemp?
Yo, I'm easily. The guy was like, "Hey, you should try these." I'm like, "Okay," and so I was like, "All right, you know, give them to me." And too, like, again, he was talking about this flavor that everyone's been copying, so I was like, "Let me try it out," you know. But swishers, man, they're just easy to roll, and they do the job, and they never canoe on me.
Yeah, that's real.
You know, and then when you get like someone rolls a fat, you know, churro with a backwood, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah, that's crazy that I've never heard anyone call it a churro, and I just think I don't smoke with enough Mexican people, you know.
Bro, I heard that in corridos.
and I'm mad at this. You feel me? Yeah. And I guess I don't listen to corridos like that either. My girlfriend has recently made me start listening to like banda and stuff, but it doesn't come like first nature for me.
Nah, not even me, dog. I started listening to it like when my grandpa died, you know, and I was like, they're like churro con wax. Really? These paisas are really.
Yo, they know how to smoke, bro.
Culture though, that's what blows my mind.
And they actually do talk a lot about like, sometimes when they be talking about like, me robaron la mota, and I'm just like, bro, you're like 15, like they ain't jack shit for you. Like, stop. They're trying to really make it like they're these old heads who are moving packs, bro. I know damn well they ain't doing that shit. Cut it out.
They're like, oh, it's because my daddy taught me, and I'm like, oh, man.
But all respect to the culture. I actually do like that you said churro, and I think I'm gonna start using that for a little bit.
Yo, use that shit. That's yours, bro.
Yeah. That's tight.
Yo, let the people know where they can find you if you're gonna have a couple of live events. Bro, I know that we're gonna try to show up. You know, get a little Outsmoken love over there. But yeah, let the people know where they can find you.
So, if you guys are in LA, Orange County, I host a mic every Wednesday, Signal Hill Park. It's in the city of Signal Hill. That's in the city of Long Beach. I do it at like 5:30. Come, you know, I get like 20-some comics to come out, and that's my bread and butter. That's what I give to comedy. So that's everything I work for.
I believe that park is off of Cherry. The main street is like Cherry and Willow or Cherry and Hill. Cherry and Hill.
Wednesday 5:30.
Wednesday at 5:30. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's actually a little stage there that you can actually see as you're driving down Cherry, so it's hard to miss.
If you guys go down on a Wednesday, you're gonna see a bunch of people right there.
Yo, we're gonna have to go and connect with you on a Wednesday, bro. We'll bring a couple churros,
Yeah.
burn up fat, and yo, I'd love to see you do what you do, yo, in the element, yo. More grandpa jokes, please, yo. More cancer
I got
jokes,
a whole
please, yo.
2 minutes, bro. You got no
I
idea.
bet, yo. I'm down to see your set. I'm really excited about it. Yo, thank you for coming through, bro. This was amazing, yo. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate.